Have a look. Yes, it is a balloon, and this is an ordinary nail. Let me check it. Yes, just a nail, nothing special. What will happen if I poke the balloon with an ordinary nail? An ordinary nail into an ordinary balloon? Well, the balloon will burst. I agree with you. Let's just prove it. Yes, ready? No, no. And now? Okay, do it. Next time, warn me in advance. I'm afraid of loud sounds. Just for you, I will. Look, here's a similar balloon, okay? But I can create the conditions to make this balloon indestructible to sharp objects. I feel like the name of the experiment should be the indestructible balloon. That's fine by me. The indestructible balloon. Dennis has prepared this deck with nails for this experiment. So let's repeat the test, okay? What if I poke a balloon with one nail? It will burst. That's right. What if I poke a balloon with 100 nails? I won't pretend to be smart, but I will say it won't burst. Well, if you are so smart, check for yourself. What should I check? If it bursts or not, put it there. How's that? Stronger. Come on, come on. Ouch, easy, easy. Take a hammer. Okay. Let's do it with a hammer. That's enough. Dennis, I got it. You've made an indestructible balloon. Absolutely. So now to figure out how. So why does the balloon burst when it's touched by just one nail, but not when hit by dozens of the same sharp object? The law of pressure distribution works here. When a nail pushes at one point of a balloon, the pressure level at that spot reaches its apex. The balloon pops. But when there are many sharp objects, the pressure is spread equally across the entire balloon, making it weaker. So, the more nails pressing against the balloon at the same time, the less pressure they put on it. There is not enough force even to pierce such a thin and fragile object. It's very easy to put that theory to the test of a balloon. Now it's my turn. Dennis, I have a very serious question. Why is it always me who goes through the most dangerous part of the experiment? Well, somebody has to control the experiment, and that's me. Okay, I see. What do I have to do? You're going to step onto the glass, keeping your foot relaxed and horizontal. Right now? Yes, why not? Very slowly and carefully. The sound is beautiful. Crunching. Yeah, I made it. Now I'll help you. Okay. Step with your other leg towards the glass. Careful. Okay, I did it. Now I have a scientific question for you. Anton, do you feel like a balloon? A balloon? I only have one feeling. I wish to get out of here as soon as possible. Can I? Okay, let's do it. Lean on me again. Okay, now take your foot out. Okay, here it goes. Careful, I'll clean it. Why do we need to do that? There are pieces of glass. You can get hurt. So, the second leg. Glass is falling down. So, gently. Show your foot to the camera. I want to see it too. Oh, everything is fine. Huh, I'm surprised. On the other hand, if you look at glass, it's pretty solid. And the balloon is quite elastic. Does this law of pressure distribution work with really fragile things? I have two things to say. First, I like your shoes. The second, I'm happy that I'm now controlling this and not taking part in it. Okay, so now I'm doing the taking part. So what? So the balloon versus nails, me versus broken glass. Why now eggs? The same physical principle applies like it did with the glass and nails. Okay, lean on my hands, come on. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. I can stand by myself. Believe it or not, the eggs can support my colleague who weighs 70 kilograms. How is this possible? It's pressure distribution again. The weight of Dennis was spread evenly onto the eggs on all 20, so only 3.75 kilograms on each egg. However, walking on them was much more complicated than just standing on them.